Hi, guys. This is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. Thank y'all guys for being here today. We are going to have some fun. We're going to learn some things. What we're going to do to start with today is we're going to tell a story. But before we tell the story, I'm going to show you actually, and we're going to do open lines. But before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you uh, the supernatural aspects, okay, of the Wizard of Oz. Okay, you know the Wizard of Oz, and it's all these different scenes and things throughout. I'm going to show you the scene where the tornado comes in, and I'm going to talk. The tornado takes the house and lifts it up and all this, and she lands in Oz, right? She's not in Kansas anymore. Well, I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to explain the supernatural aspects that they were showing in there, but they're not telling. They're not telling you what these things mean, but I'm going to tell you, and I think you're going to find that pretty fascinating. We're going to do one scene today, and we'll probably do some other scenes some other days, so that way, well, you can understand the supernatural aspects that they're actually showing and demonstrating in The Wizard of Oz. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of that. Hey, guys, I appreciate you being here. Got a nice little crowd going already on multiple platforms today. Also, we're on YouTube Live, Rumble Live, and on Facebook Live today. Okay, so just looking through the comments real quick, seeing what y'all guys are saying. And then let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at that video. And this will give a little time for more people to get here. And yeah, so we'll explain that. I've got a bunch of images saved on my other monitor here that I'm going to be able to show you in relationship to the supernatural aspects that I'm talking about of The Wizard of Oz. Well, hello, my Southern life. Welcome to the show. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's pull in the video and show it to you. I'm going to let you watch it through one time. Watch through it one time, and then I'm going to come back. And of this scene, I'm going to explain the supernatural aspects of what they're showing you, but not telling you. Well, you're going to know today. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Okay. So I'll come back to the comments again here in a little bit. The call-in number. Well, if I give the call-in number right this second, someone's going to call right this second, and I'm not quite ready yet to take that call. We got to do this, and then we'll do that. Okay, so hang in there. I can tell you this much: let's see here. The first part of the phone number, if you want to write it down, and then I'll give you the pin here in just a little bit. Okay, because I don't want you on hold for 30 minutes. So, but the first part of the phone number, and then you'll need a pin. The first part of the phone number is, grab your pen, 512-647-1431. 512-647-1431. But you're also going to need a pin, and I'll give that to you here in just a little bit. Okay, guys? And so you can call in, because we're going to do a call in today. Okay? So now let's take a look at our Wizard of Oz video. And again, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain the scene where the tornado takes the house and explain the supernatural aspects of what they are actually showing in that scene, but they're just not telling us. They leave us in the dark with a lot of things in the Wizard of Oz, right? So we're going to take it scene by scene. Today we're going to do one scene, and we'll do some other scenes some other days. And Some of you know I've already done a little bit of this on my other channel. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and bring this in.
Come on, everybody in this.
Hang on, guys. I forgot to remove the comment that's there right now. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. A couple more comments. It says, hello from Maine, where the ground is wobbling. And it's not just me going crazy. Yep. It's doing it. And if y'all guys haven't seen, go over to my other channel, which is called Logic Before Authority. And look at the second video down will be the video from yesterday, where I go over all of that about the whole entire East Coast is wobbling. And that's definitely something you need to know about. And there's a lot of other things going on. And it's supernatural, truly is. But I go into that. And that video, amazingly enough, already has over 100,000 views on it. And that channel is completely shadow banned, so I'm highly surprised that it has done that. All right, let's back this video up and let's go full screen so you can see it a little bit better. And let's watch it through one time.
Get them horses loose! Where's Hickory? Hickory! Hickory!
It's a twister! It's a twister!
Come on, everybody in the storm cellar!
And that's pretty much the main scene, of course. And I'm going to take you through that scene, and I'm going to explain the supernatural aspects that they're not telling us in the movie, just like they do in most movies. There's actually truth hidden here in this scene and throughout the Wizard of Oz, but they don't tell you the truth. There's also deceptions as well, but we'll get into the truth part here. Is what we'll do. Okay. Let's see. I see a comment here. It says, "I believe that Dorothy was in a coma and maybe died, and Oz was kind of like heaven." Y'all see how beautiful it is in the movie? Yep, that is definitely an interesting way of looking at that. Absolutely. Um, but let me go ahead and pull it back up here so I can work my way through it and show y'all guys what I'm talking about here. Okay, let me find the scene. The scene. We're talking about a tornado, right? Tornado. And what's the first three letters of the word tornado? Tor. Tor. It's part of the word torus. Torus, like a torus, if you know what a torus is. If you don't know what a torus is, well, I'm going to show you. Okay. Over here, I've got a bunch of slides and things that explain what a torus is. I want to give you some basic um, images to start with. Okay. Both of these are images of a torus. The best way and easiest way for you to relate immediately is going to be a hurricane. Okay. A hurricane is a full-fledged torus. Okay. You have an eye in the center, and you have these bands like you see here. You have these bands running around that create the bands in the hurricane. They're the frequency bands that are running around the hurricane. Okay, and it works the same way. The same reasons that a hurricane works like that are the same reasons your water goes down the sink in this swirl. Okay, or your toilet, when you flush it, it goes down in that swirl. That center swirl is the eye. Now, when we're talking about a tornado, okay, we're talking about the same thing again. We're talking about a supercell um, thunderstorm, right? A supercell. And down the middle, or particularly wherever the circulation of the winds, the center of it is going to be where the highest potential for a tornado is. Let's see if I happen to have, I've got like 500 images on here that are related generally to this subject, but I've got to find the right images to relate to it. And I want to see if I can find something that would do that. Um, if y'all guys would like, I know some of you, I've shared this list of images and videos with you, but here's an example of one thing we're going to be talking about here, which is it's the same thing as Ezekiel's wheel. Okay, where Ezekiel in the Bible, where he talks about the wheel inside of a wheel, is the same thing. Okay, and it's also the same thing that when Ezekiel was talking about that, he was talking about seeing an angel, okay, or a deity, and they exist, or at least they present themselves image-wise as a torus. The energy is flowing around them and in and through, just like a torus, just like a hurricane. It's because it is the natural form and flow of things in this world, of all things for the most part. Maybe not every single thing. Even our world is spelled actually correctly, WHIRLED, world. Okay? It's a world. It's a whirlwind, just like in the Bible, it talks about God speaking out of the whirlwind. And when Noah was on top of the mountain and seen the burning bush, he was being communicated with through an angel, and the angel was the burning bush, the fire that that he's seen, and it would have looked like, if it was close up, it would have looked like maybe a burning bush. I'm sure that's what that is about. Let me see if I can find another image that is maybe a little better, that is related to that. Let's see. Well, I mean, this is a torus, okay? The sun itself is a torus. And you notice, the way you know it's a torus is because all of the storms, the solar storms, which are also magnetic toruses that are operating on the surface of the sun, just like on Earth it does that. But the sun itself is a torus, okay? And all the magnetic storms flow around it. In this hemisphere, in the middle area here, you generally never see one way up high or way down low, that kind of thing. Let's see. I know I've got these images in here. The eye itself, okay, the brow bone right above the eye is called the toroidal superior toroidal, and it has to do with the eye. The eye, see, you have a pupil in there. Your eye itself is in the image of a torus, okay? Just like everything we're talking about here. Let's look a little bit more, see if I can find another one. Yeah, okay. This is an image of the sun, but it's a 360-degree image, meaning this camera was mounted and it could see all the way around. And as you notice, you can see that there is an eyelid here, just like the background in my video. There's an eyelid, and then there's light that runs out and all the way 360 degrees around the firmament, okay? It's a reflection off of the firmament. And the image that we're seeing in that reflection is an eye, okay? And because this is how our Creator, our Father in heaven, created these things, is just like that. If we take a look at this video here, you can see it again, right? You can see this is the pupil, like with your eye, and this is the iris. And then let's see if they back out and show the whole thing a little better. But you can see the corner of the eye over here. They call it sundogs, but this is the corner of the eye that we're seeing in the reflection off of the dome. And you can see the eyelid right up there, just a moment ago. See, this is it's a little different than our eyelids, but from the way it looks. But you can see there's an eyelid, and the eyelid actually, as the sun is rising, the eyelids open and separate just like our eyes do. And all this has to do, and some of this you might not understand, but all this has to do with that. All these things are a point of creation. They are involved in creation somehow. And yeah, let me see what else I can find here that might help you understand a little bit more. Because we're talking about the tornado from the... Here we go. Okay. So you can see, here's a tree, right? Here's a tree. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, there you go. So here's a tree. Now, in the scene we just watched out of The Wizard of Oz, did they or did they not show us a tree floating by the window when the house was up in the tornado? Okay. They did show us a tree. We'll go back and look at that here in just a minute, okay? But you can see the torus is shaped, well, one, like a hurricane, okay, like you see here. That's a torus. We also, our human bodies have not only one torus, but multiple toruses that are operating. And Here you have the apple. And what do you have in the center of the apple? The seeds. That's the point of creation. In the eye, the pupil is the center of creation. You understand? Okay? It is a point of creation. That's why when I say we live in a world, WHIRLED, I say we live in the eye. In the eye of the storm is where we live. Because it is the point of creation. It can also be a point of destruction, like with a tornado and a hurricane. But to us, it's destroying, right? Because it blew our house down. But it's also creating at the same time. It's changing things. It's creating through destruction. Yes, indeed. But it is creating. Here's some more examples of what I'm talking about and how it can be seen in nature. Okay, you can see the same swirl, which is a torus, in everything, and including the DNA within our body. And this is a conch seashell over here on the lower right. You can see that the conch, meaning conical, that's why it's called a conch, because it's a conical sea slug, okay? And it takes naturally the image of a torus and also of a tornado, okay? You can take that and turn it upside down, and you would have the tornado coming down out of the storm is what you're looking at there, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Okay, let's play this real quick.
Okay, just remade this supercell unit. Sorry about that. Ironically,
this is called a supercell unit, and he's going to show you what a torus looks like energetically. The image of the eye, the image of the torus, and it's also the image of all creation. Everything is based on this supernatural flow of energy, natural flow of energy. The whole world is based on it. You're looking at your eye, you're looking at numerous things on your body, things that are related specifically to creation, like your breasts and your reproductive system down there. Okay. So there we have that. Let's see what we got next. Okay, here is a video of Hurricane Dorian, right? Check this out. This is it forming. You see, a hurricane has to have two low pressures to form. One on the bottom, and the other one, when the storm is weak, will be up to the northeast. It will lay off to the northeast, but as it gets stronger, that the upper level low pressure will slide over the top, making the eyes single. Okay, it will bring together and make the eyes single, and bam, and it forms the eye that we know of as the eye of the storm. And then, yeah, this was an unbelievable hurricane, of course. Cat 5 for days, sitting on top of the Bahamas down there. But you can see the energy flowing in this thing, okay? And this is a point of creation, is what we're looking at here. Okay? Let's see what else we got. A couple more things maybe. Let's see if I can back out of here and come on down, because I want to go ahead and go to the video itself. Here's what I'm talking about with the hurricane, okay? You have to have a lower level low, and then you have to have a upper level low. And they have to align in order for a hurricane to get above, say, a Cat 2. When you get up to 3, 4, and 5 is when those two low pressures, those two toruses, line up on top of each other and make the eye single. Then the eye forms, and you have a real, fully powerful torus. And Thunderstorms work basically the same way, except for they produce, as you know, a tornado instead of a torus producing a tornado. And your cells in your body works actually the same way as well. The cells in your body. That's why they call it a supercell. Okay, it's because it is related to that. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of stuff there. But let me go ahead and go back to the video specifically, and let's talk about. So you got the tornado. Now, when the tornado picks up the house, of course, which is a little further down. Okay, do y'all guys remember the movie? It was a series, I think it was called Stargate. And they always kept saying, close the iris or open the iris. They were talking about your eye. They were talking about the eye of the torus, because the eye is a gateway. Okay. It opens and closes just like the pupil in your eye. It is a gateway from one realm to another, the realm that exists inside of our mind and inside of our head. It's a gateway. So when this house was taken up into the eye of the storm, into the gateway, she symbolically is passing through the gateway, okay, just like in that movie or that series. And if you remember, when they opened the iris in that movie, it spun out and looked just like a toilet flushing or a whirlpool, right? Or a tornado, because that is what they're showing there. They're just not telling us. We have to figure it out on our own. And that's what I'm here doing, is explaining to you exactly what that is. Okay. So let's go ahead and look a little bit more. So here we are, and she is now being picked up into the gateway. They show us that she's fallen asleep, or maybe she maybe almost died. But if you look at the footage real close, it doesn't look like, a bad injury happened. It was just a window pane coming off. And anyways, the point is that she's entered into the point of creation. She is in the eye, okay? And she, of course, comes out of that in a new realm. She's not in Kansas anymore. She's in Oz, right? She passes through the gateway, okay, is what they're showing the symbolism of. Okay, there's our tree. Well, you say, well, they're just showing a tree because it ripped out of the ground and flew up in the air. And yes, that would be reasonable to think. But I suspect actually what they're doing here, as you can see, the tree is perfectly upright. It is in the same image of the torus, the point of creation, the image that our entire world exists in this image. And the tree is in the image, okay? It has the low on the bottom, which is the root system. And then the upper crown of the tree, okay, is like our head. Okay. And it is the second low, like sitting on top of the hurricane, where the two lows have to get straight together and get the eyes aligned in order for it to become real powerful. And the trunk of the tree, the vertical trunk of the tree, is the eye of the storm or the tornado. In this case, it is the core of the storm, of course, with the rings in there, in the center of it. That's how our God created everything. So they're showing you an image of a torus, a possible image of a torus, and that is a tree. Okay, just like I showed you. The chicken thing, the chicken coop and chicken thing, well, one, you can see that the chicken coop is made in the shape of a pyramid, basically. Okay. But the chicken thing actually has more to do with the behaviors of a chicken, how it crows, and some other things related to the behaviors of the chicken. Okay. But I'm not going to get into that one too much. I've got some others to show you that are easier to understand. And of course, you have the way a chicken's tail fans out, like what's a better example? Peacock. A peacock's tail fans out like that, and what it's doing is it is in the image of a torus and in the image of the point of creation, which is why NBC uses the peacock as their logo, and all the other ones are using the eye as their logo because they're point of creations. They know this. Okay. I'm not sure about the old lady in the rocking chair as far as the symbolism behind it. I'm not quite sure on that one. Maybe one of you guys know. Now, the rowing in the boat, that's interesting. I'm not positive on the symbolism on this one, but being in a boat, rowing through the sky, it's not quite sure on that, but I know that that's a significant one. But let's move on to the next one. I think that's another one I can explain pretty well. Okay, this is one here I do understand very well, and I can explain. Okay, remember I said the words earlier, Ezekiel's wheel? Okay. Wheel. This is a chariot that this woman is on. She's on a chariot. It's related to a deity existing within a chariot. Okay. And hang on just 1 second, guys. Because someone was telling me my stream was offline, but I don't see that on my end. Let me check this real quick and make sure. Hang on just a second, guys. Make sure I am still online. That would be a good thing if I was. Yeah, everything's still fine, it looks like. Maybe they just lost their feed or whatever. But okay, let's get back to what we were talking about there. Let's see, where were we at? Here we go. Okay, so here we have the deity, because she turns into a witch, right? And a witch is a type of they show a witch as being a deity, meaning like a lower god in the Wizard of Oz numerous times. Okay, and we could easily get into that, because remember the one scene where the one comes floating in the bubble? She's inside of the purple bubble. Remember that scene? And she floats in, just like the orbs that you see in the heavens above, that many people have seen, those orbs that show up out of nowhere, move around, shoot off through the skies, and do different things. People film them all around the world. They don't realize what they're looking at is a deity, an angel of light, the host of heaven, the host of the heavens. So her wheels, let's talk about the wheels here. Think about, I don't know if you've ever taken a bicycle wheel and spun it, but it creates a centrifugal force when you spin it like that. Okay. Let's see. I guess it must have dropped offline for a second, because a couple of you. Yeah, the copyright thing, I'm not worried about that in this situation, because the footage of the Wizard of Oz is allowed to be used. So it's no big deal. They allow us to use it and everything. So let's get back to explaining, because I can see y'all guys are back. Yeah, a cosmic spoon, like a gyroscope. Exactly like a gyroscope. It creates a force, and when that force is spinning, that wheel is spinning, it does not like to rotate one way or the other. It likes to continue in its current spin. And if you try to move it, it'll resist. Okay. And that has to do with a torus. Just like a torus does the same thing. Okay. And so what they're doing is they're showing you she's a deity. She's on a chariot, and they're giving you symbolism of the wheel within a wheel. Okay. That is what they're doing there. So, yep, we are back, and appreciate y'all guys hanging in there. All right, let's keep going here.
Oh, the scout!
And you notice she's wearing a hat, right? And you also notice a witch will wear a hat, right? We've always seen the witches, and they have the pointed hat, the conical pointed hat. And what that's related to is throughout all of history, societies have always tried to emulate, meaning make themselves in the image of their god. Okay. So when you see someone, and especially like really old photos, maybe from, guys, hang on again. Apparently they're messing with my stream, of course, guys. Let me check something real quick and see what is going on. Let me look at, and then we'll get back to what we're doing here. It's not that uncommon at all for my streams to be messed with. Let's see here. I'm just going to go into my analytics and take a look at this particular stream and make sure it's okay. The hat. Yeah, I'll get back into the hat here in just a second. Let's see here. Content and live, and what's going on here? Let's see. Let's just click on it and see if I see anything here. I don't see anything that's a problem there. Let me look at the analytics and see if everything looks okay. Okay. As far as I can tell, I'm still live. I don't know what's going on, why it's dropping out like that, guys. Yeah, there's definitely the possibility of that. That definitely could be happening. So let's let's keep going, okay? All right, so I was talking about the witch, and I was explaining that she is in the image of a deity. She's riding something that is a chariot. Okay, it has two wheels, just like a wheel is very similar in its function, like a torus, how it spins, and when it spins, it creates a force. And the faster it spins, the more force it creates, the more energy it generates. And that's just like a hurricane, which is a torus. Okay, so that's what they're showing here is she, as you know, she's going to turn into a witch. See, now she is a witch, and she's riding on a symbolic tree is what she's riding on. But you see her hat is pointed, and it has to do with what I was saying earlier about throughout time and history, societies like Egypt, they would wear things on their heads, particularly conical shaped things on their heads, because they wanted to be like their God. They wanted to emulate their God. And throughout history, societies have done that with different styles of hats and such, and other things that they put on their bodies in order to emulate their God that they believed in at that time. And that's why she's wearing a hat. And that's why they had her on a bicycle, because that's a chariot with two wheels, just like the two wheels that is in a torus in a hurricane. Okay, particularly a hurricane. Okay, and all the energy is flowing down the middle, and that's where we're at right now, is in a torus, in a point of creation, and she's inside of the storm. She's in the eye of the tornado. She's in the eye of the storm, the actual point of creation. So she has now passed through the gateway, right? I just noticed this window that she was looking out of. This pane actually blew off the wall earlier, but now it's back on the window again. But, a little mistake of theirs, I guess. But anyway, she has passed through the eye. She has passed through the gateway, just like I was talking about the gateway in that television series or movie that was called Gateway, I think, or something like that. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So now she has landed in a new place and in a new time. She has passed through the eye. You get it? That's the symbolism behind this scene for the most part. So when I'm going to look, I'm offline again. They say, oh, great. Maybe they did, but I don't think that is what's going on, but it may be. It may be. What do you know? You never know. Because this is normally allowed to be used. You can show this footage. But I think YouTube is giving me a hard time. I'm still live, I know, on Rumble. And I should be still live on Facebook. I can actually look at Facebook real quick and see if I'm still live there. And yep, I'm still live on Facebook. And I'm sure I'm still live on Rumble. Don't really have to worry about that. I'm sorry, guys, but when you start doing stuff like this and you start showing things, yeah, yep, I'm definitely still live on Facebook. Well, that's good. Okay. So we're good to go there. It's just YouTube that is the problem right now. So it looks like the stream might be still down, still on YouTube. What do you do? So What do you do? Anyways, I think what I'm going to do is I've went through and I've explained all this, and it will ultimately allow this to be on YouTube, I think. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast here because I was able to explain this scene with the supernatural aspects of the the scene from the Wizard of Oz. Okay, and we'll just leave it with that for today, guys. I'm sorry that they're messing with us, messing with me again. It seems to be what they like to do. So, but we'll be back next time. I love you guys. Um, if you'd like to show your support for me because of how much they love messing with me, my links are down below, and you can buy me a coffee or whatever. I have, all the normal things: PayPal, Venmo, all that stuff down there. So I appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna let you go. I love you. We'll see you again on the next show. I will be back.